My name's Daniel Grove, and I'm a local photographer out of San Antonio. I do all kinds of photography, but lately I've been getting known for my creative, geeky, nerdy stuff. I started taking photos about 10 years ago, my sophomore year of high school. Started using my family camera and just kind of discovered it was another form of art, and I really liked it, and I was already into computers and photoshopping, so the two just kind of went together. So about 10 years, I think. I've tried to count back, but that's the best as I can guess. My first camera that I received was probably, I think I was in 8th grade or 9th grade, and got it for Christmas. It was a DSLR. It was a point and shoot, but it had manual control, which was really great for me learning photography. And so right off from the beginning, I was already using manual. I didn't know any better. And yeah, it was really fun. It was just a great way to explore photography and learning really on my own. And I think I took so many pictures it just stopped working. Pretty much everything I know in photography was self-taught. I regret that it was that way. I wish I had got mentors. I wish I had maybe taken a class, or wish I had done more investigating online. But I learned things the hard way. And you know, you learn it better that way, but it just takes a lot longer. My first photo job, I think, was in high school, and I charged her $20. Just took some pictures of her, I don't remember where, somewhere around New Braunfels where I went to high school. And so I charged her $20, and then afterward, I took her out to eat lunch, and so I pretty much just made about $8 profit. My inspirations are kind of limited in a sense. A lot of my inspiration is just from whatever I can think of in my own imagination and things that I've seen before. I'll do some research on a photo shoot online, but usually I'm looking at what other people have done to make sure I'm not doing the same thing. And I want to see, you know, how far other people have pushed the boundaries, and how can I go a step further, or how can I make it look more real, or make it more interesting or creative, or throw something else into the mix that'll really make my photo shoot unique. So yeah, I look at other people's work sometimes, but not so much to copy what they've done. I try to think of what's the craziest thing I can think of for this photo shoot, or what's the most awesome visual that I could possibly make, or maybe can't make yet, and I'll learn how to make it. And that's generally how I start out my planning of a photo shoot. Professional photography for me has kind of been a slow, progressive thing. You don't just, well, I didn't just start off saying, I want to charge this much and I'm going to be a legit business with photography. It was kind of like, it was a hobby. I got really good at the hobby. People noticed I was good, and it was just step by step, got a little bit more serious, started charging a little bit of money, realized I was using a lot of time to do this well, so I charged more money. Eventually I figured out some kind of pricing system. So it's all just kind of a slow gradient into what I guess now I can consider professional, not full-time, but professional photography. It got pretty serious around college, where I started like keeping records of everything. I made a math equation for my prices where I charged everyone the same. You know, started paying taxes, all kinds of stuff like that. So sometime during like 2010, 2009, during my college, and actually here in Austin, where I started taking it pretty seriously. Most people, when they see my photography, they don't know how it's made initially. Some people do. Obviously people know it's Photoshop, at least some of them. I've actually had people ask me about borrowing the props in my photo shoots. A little to their surprise, it's not a real prop, it's a digital 3D model that I made, or it's a Photoshop effect. It's not real. So they're a little disappointed, but then they're impressed. So yeah, people think all kinds of crazy things. They think, oh, you know, you probably bought that, or you just went to Google Images and stole that background image and just threw it in your picture. Well, no, I made it by scratch, and you know, I try to make things originally as much as I can, so I'm not ripping off. I don't rip off of anyone. I don't want to breach copyright. I want my stuff to be like 100% mine, and be able to slap my name on everything that I make without any worry about someone saying, hey, that was my image, or oh, you just grabbed that from a movie. I like to make them really wonder about how it's made. I want them to be almost confused to like what's real and what's not, and sometimes I achieve that.